What's up, y'all? How are y'all doing tonight? We're going to do a little late night chat. I hope that y'all are doing well. How is your new year starting out? Things are going good. Have you created any New Year's resolutions? How is that going? So, I really haven't created any New Year's resolutions right now, but y'all, what I've been doing, I've been trying not to be on my phone so much, especially when it's time to go to bed. And so it's kind of been good because I'm just like, since I like during the day, I'm like hardly never on my phone. And I'm just like, it kind of makes the day go by slower, but it's been good. And so that's kind of one thing that I have been doing. And so let me know what you've been doing this new year. How is everything going? I just wanted to come on here and chit chat for a little bit. I don't know how long we're going to be on here, but I wanted to chat a little bit. So let me know, where are you at? I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. And y'all are gonna have to go over to the community tab. I've been putting some really cool poll questions up there. And so today's poll question was, what role do credit cards play in your life right now? Or do you have control of your credit cards? Are they just convenience for you? Is it a safety net, or is it a source of stress? Are your credit cards stressing you out right now? So if your credit cards are stressing you out right now, this is a great live stream for you, because I know that we have been talking about, credit card utilization, and we had talking about, it's not really how much you owe for your balance on your credit card, is really how much you report. And so I think that the statement date is the most important piece on your statement for your credit card. And so it doesn't matter if you are maxing out the credit card every month, if as long as by the time your due date comes around and you pay it down by the due date, and then when the statement date comes, you let it report, whatever your ideal credit card utilization is, then you're good, because your statement date is only going to be what is that snapshot at that time, and your creditor is going to be reporting to the credit bureau. And so you really want to make sure that you're reporting 30% or less, or whatever your ideal credit card utilization is. But y'all, let me tell y'all what happened. And so I just got, maybe a month ago, is going on a month, I had got the Chase United Explorer credit card. And so when I got that credit card, I really, just kind of had a plan for it, because we're planning some trips this year. And so I was booking a trip. So y'all, I had booked the trip, and then I was going to be purchasing, a flight. And so it was right around my statement date. And so for one, when I had applied for this credit card, I want to say I had only got approved for 7,100, if I'm not making a mistake. So when I had ended up, I had booked the trip, and then my statement date. So I think I had made like a payment. I made a payment on it and paid it down, because actually I pretty much had it really high. My credit card utilization, I really had it high. And so I had made a payment, and then I was like, dang, I gotta get the plane tickets. And so y'all, by the time I got them plane tickets, I pretty much had the credit card maxed out. Can you believe that I had the credit card maxed out? And so I was like, dang, that's crazy. And so I was like, dang. And so, but my statement hadn't came out yet. And so then I looked, and my statement had came out. And since my statement had came out, I wanted to use the points that I got to get the plane tickets. And so that's what I did. So then at that point, it's maxed out. So then I'm like, dang, since my statement came out, the credit card statement date is going to be right around that time. But you know what? I was just like, when I had made my last video, I was like, I think what happens is, let's say you pay the credit card down, and then once you pay the credit card down, you're using the credit card, and then your statement date hits, and it will, you can have a high credit card utilization. But see, my for this card, I didn't have a minimum payment as of yet, but it still did, my statement date, and it still reported to the credit bureau. So y'all, I ended up reporting probably like 50% credit card utilization. But the good thing is, even though I had pretty much had, I had pretty much maxed the credit card out, it's pretty much 90% utilized at this point. But the good thing is that it did not report 100% credit card utilization. Um, so I just wanted to share that. So that's what we're gonna talk about today. So I'm gonna share my screen and show you what I'm talking about. So let me share my screen. While I'm doing that, I hope that you're having a good day today. Let me know where you are, where you're at. Are you getting ready for the bed, for work? The week is almost up. Friday is almost here. Do you have big plans for the weekend? All right. So I'm sharing my screen. So y'all, this credit card, this is for my United Explorer credit card. And so my credit limit on this credit card is 7,100. And so you can see here that I had actually reported $3,548.89. That's what my statement balance was. So at first, yesterday when I checked it, it hadn't reported to the credit bureau. And so I'm like, man, I wonder if it's gonna report 100%, because you can see here that my available credit is only 400. So that lets you know that I pretty much have maxed out the credit card. But the great thing is that I think what happens is, once your once your due date comes and you make your payment, and then when it's cycling to be able to push out your new statement, I believe, but I'm not for sure 100%, that even if you're making charges on it, it'll only report up to a certain point, because this was my statement balance. And then it reported that statement balance, even though I had made a charge like the next day. And you can see that it only, I don't have a lot of available credit on that card. And so I think that that's a good thing, because it kind of really worked out in my favor, because I'm 49% utilized opposed to really being, 90% utilized. And so this was the first statement that I got on this credit card, because I got this credit card in December. And so when I got this credit card, I had an idea in mind, because I was going to be getting plane tickets, for a trip and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of knew what I was doing with it. But you know how when you first get a credit card, you don't know when that statement is going to drop. So I really didn't know when the statement was going to drop on there. And so I had purchased the trip, and then I was just like, I really want those points so that I could buy the plane ticket. But I didn't know when it was going to post, because it was saying that it was going to take 6 to 8 weeks. And since this was the first time that I had the United card, I was just like, man, I'm not sure how long it's going to take for me to get the points, even though sometimes you'll get the points pretty much like right when when they give you that first statement. And then that's what happened. And so I was going to purchase I was looking at the flights, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna see if it's there. And then boom, there it was. And so I was so happy. So look, that was the first time I ever used points so fast, because for this United Explorer credit card, I had to spend, I want to say $4,000 within the first 90 days. And then I was going to get 60,000 points. But look, let me tell y'all this right quick. So when I had called United because I was trying to book the flights, man, why did they have they had a special, but what they was going to do, so the rep was just like, well, if she was like, well, you can apply for this United Explorer credit card and they're gonna give you 75,000 points. And then I was just like, because I knew, because I was like, because she was just like, well, this is with Chase, and so I'll get you transferred over to Chase, and then you can go ahead and apply for the credit card. And so I'm just like, you know what? I think I already got that credit card. But she was getting in, and she was just talking and talking and talking. And she was just like, well, what I do is I use the credit card for all of my spend. And, the good thing about the United Explorer, let's say for your ride share, you get miles for that. And then she was telling me even about let's say when you purchase your flight, sometime it'll ask you, do you want to buy insurance? And so she was telling me about the insurance and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, that was pretty good, because you'll have to let me know when you buy your flights and let's say your trips and stuff, do you usually buy the insurance, at the end, before you pay it, it'll ask you if you want to buy insurance. Do you buy insurance? And so most of the time I will buy insurance. But since she was kind of, giving me the rundown and all that kind of stuff, I was just like, I'm not going to buy the insurance. So I didn't buy the insurance. And so by the time she had finished everything, I was like, you know what? I already got this credit card. But I was like, dang, it would have been great if I would have been able to get 75,000 points opposed to 60,000 points. So I had only ended up getting 60,000 points for that credit card. So y'all, as soon as them points drop, I don't even think them points had dropped 12 hours in that account, because when I had checked the account the day before, they weren't in there. And then when I checked the account, when I just so happened to was taking a look at I was trying to book the flights, and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go in there and check, because I had made a payment on the account. So I wanted to make sure I had enough available balance to be able to cover the flights. And so when I went in there and those points was in there, I was like, man, I was like, I'm going to use those points. And so everything had updated to where in the system, it was going to let me use the points. And so I was able to use the points on there. But ultimately, overall, what I'm trying to explain is, even though I had pretty much did the first transaction of the 3,000, and then I had ended up doing another transaction, since it was still in that period where they were getting my statement ready, it didn't they didn't report the whole 100% of me utilizing that credit card. And so I'm just like, that is so good in a sense, to where it's not reporting 100%. So I think that is good. And so the most important piece is, so on February the 1st, I'm going to pay the $3,548 so that I will not pay interest on a credit card. But the thing is, even though technically the card has 7,000, basically I've maxed the credit card out, but as long as when February 1st comes, I pay the statement balance, I won't have to pay interest on the credit card. And so I think that's very good. And so it's very important for us to understand what our due date is, but then what our statement balance is, but then also understand when is our statement date, because it really doesn't matter how much you have on that credit card. It's only by the time that your statement date comes around, what is your creditor going to be reporting to the credit bureau. And so I was very excited that they only reported the not the full $7,000. And so I think that is so good. And so then I was checking my credit score, because you know how when you go into the Chase portal and see, this is where I got this information from the Chase portal, because that's where I like to go to check my credit score. Well, not my credit score, because in the Chase portal is going to be your Vantage score. But I like to go into the Chase portal so that I can check what is my credit card utilization like, what's reporting, because that's really how I manage my credit, what's reporting to the credit bureau. And so I'm always taking a look at my statement date, what is my statement balance, and all that kind of stuff. So that's how I really pay my credit cards, based off of my statement balance and my credit card utilization. And so when I had looked at it the other day, my Vantage score was 800. And then when I looked at it today, y'all, it had went up 20 some odd points. And so I think now it is a 823. But then I went into my Experian, my FICO score, and my FICO score for my Experian is a 771. And so I'm just like, you'll have to let me know which credit score do you take a look at it. Do you take a look at your Vantage score or your FICO score? So I'm just like, on the one hand, because y'all know that I've been trying to get my credit score to over 800, because for my right now I can only get my Experian credit score. So this is my Experian FICO score, and then this is my Experian Vantage score. And so I've been trying to get my FICO score to a 800. And so my score has only been around, 770. And I'm pretty sure by now my Equifax and my TransUnion, because usually my Equifax credit score is the highest credit score. So that might be like a 780, but I'm not able to get it right now. And so really I could say, oh, my credit score is a 820, 823. But I'm just like, would I be cheating if I said that? Because on the one hand, my FICO score is only a 771. And so but I'm just like, still my Vantage score is a 823, so that's pretty good. And shout out to Ace, Ace the King. He said that 823 is great. And so Ace, you'll have to let me know. Can I say that my credit score, or do you have to say your Vantage score? So like if somebody asks you what's your credit score, I guess it depends. If they say your credit score, are you going to give them your FICO score or your Vantage score? And so for me, I usually say my FICO score opposed to my Vantage score, because I'm just like, the Vantage score, is very high. And, I still feel like a lot of creditors, still use the FICO score, but you'll have to let me know. Let me see. So Ace said, I always say the highest score. That is so funny. It is. And I really I should do that, because I'm just like, because I'm trying, like, look, if I can get to an 850, I'm trying to get to an 850 credit score. But really I was trying to get to 800. So it's like, because since I was in the high 700s, I'm like, this year I got to get to an 800 credit score. And then my FICO, my Vantage score, it'll kind of go up and down a little bit, because it was just an 800, and then I guess it was an 801, because it went up to 823. And so, but I usually always still say my FICO score. And so I just think that is hilarious. But you'll have to let me know what you say. But what I do really like about the Vantage score is that sometimes I think that is really heavily on your credit card utilization, in my opinion. But I'm gonna have to look at it a little bit more, because like when I pay down credit cards, it goes up. And so I'll really have to look to see, especially once that credit card with that high credit card utilization, once that had post, is it going to make the credit score go down? And so that's the only thing about the Vantage score, when you come in here to the Vantage score, it goes up and down quite often compared to the FICO score. Usually monthly, you can get those. And so that's why I like, especially if you're trying to increase your credit score fast, if you can tackle your credit card utilization, you'll be able to see quick wins month over month, because once our creditor reports to the credit bureau at that statement date, then that's how you can really increase your credit score fast. And so that's why I really like to tackle my credit card utilization. But yeah, and so that's why I always do that. But I was just like, wow, when that happened, because it was just like everything almost kind of, came together. Because since I was trying to get those plane tickets, and I was like, dang, I really want to get those points. And then, I was just like, I don't know when that statement was going to come down. And then I was taking a look, and I was in United, and I was, seeing the flights and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna go in there. And then once I went in there, I was like, boom, that's 60,000. It was really 65,000 points. And so you got to think, in a month, I had spent, I want to say 5,000. I had spent $5,000 on that credit card. And y'all only got 65,000 points. I was just like, wow. Let me see. So Juan said, great to see you live. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so glad that you're joining. I pay a few days before the closing day, so the balance report's low, usually about $5 to $50. It does affect the score positively when it's low. And Juan, I definitely really agree with that, because, I do think that it's important to report, I would say really 7% or less. And so, usually I'm going to report 7% or less. But see, the only thing about this time, since I had just got this credit card, because I really hadn't had this credit card for, it must just be coming up on a full month. So the only thing was, I wasn't 100% sure when the statement was going to drop. So that was the only thing in regards to that. I wasn't really sure. And so that's why I had went ahead and made a payment. So I had went ahead and made a payment on the account, because it was originally 5,000. So then that would have been over 60 or 70%. And then I had made a payment on the card, and then that took it down. So it reported 49%. And so Ace said, right, my utilization is always a little high after Christmas. I know that's right. Because I'm like, Ace, I'm like, you know what? I did pretty good for Christmas, but we was planning some trips, and it was just like how it all came down. I was like, y'all, I was like, dang. But the good thing is, because now I think I have 14 credit cards. So now I have 14 credit cards. And all of my other credit cards, they were pretty much like 1% or 2%, because usually my overall credit card utilization is going to be like 3% or 2%. And man, I didn't even check. Let me see if I can check right quick. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I can check what my overall credit card utilization is. But I usually like to report, like 7% or less. But sometimes, because over the summer, I had reported kind of high on my, I want to say my City American Airlines credit card, because I was using that credit card all the time, because I was trying to get airline points with them too. And that credit limit was only like 4,100. And I'm like, y'all, I had that credit card 2 years. And I'm just like, why did I not even do a credit line increase? I'm like, y'all, why did it take me so long to do a credit line increase on that credit card? And so I was just like, I don't know if it was that card or my Hilton. It might have been my Hilton Honor Surpass. I don't know which card. No, I think it was my City Platinum card. Because when I got that card, it was only 4,100. And so then I did a credit line increase, because I was using that card the most because I was trying to get airline points. But and then since I was using that card a lot, it had ended up reporting that one time like 65%. I was like, ooh, dang. And so then finally, y'all, I had went ahead and did a credit line increase. But I'm just like, on the one hand, since I had that card for 2 years, how many times would you have done a credit line increase on that card? And I'm just like, I probably should have had already done like 2 or 3 credit line increases. But on the same hand, sometimes I'm just trying to get approved for the credit card and I'm not necessarily caring what the balance is, what the credit limit is. And, because I'm just trying to get is it going to be miles, points, or cash back? So usually that's what I'm trying to get. And so, since I have quite a bit of credit cards, I will, I'm just not using one credit card. But for this Chase Explorer United credit card, I had let it report. I'm just like, that was crazy. But it was just like it all kind of happened that way. But so let me see if I can see what my overall credit card utilization is. But I was so excited when I had came in here to the Chase portal and I had saw that my credit score had went up to a 823. Let me see. Where am I at? But how are y'all doing tonight? Let me see while I get this pulled up. But I'm just so excited, y'all. It is I got some pretty good things going on. Let me see. Dang, it's not gonna let me do it. Let me see. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what it is. Let me see. Credit factors. Usage. Okay. Oh, you know what? So my credit card, here I can, well, let me see. I don't want to show all my business. Let me see. See if I can do a snapshot really quick. So that's kind of high for me though, 4%. So my credit card, my overall credit card utilization is 4%. Because normally my credit card utilization is going to be, I guess from 3% to 4% is not too bad. But let me see if I can pull it up right quick. There it is. Let me share my screen again. Okay. So yeah, so my overall credit card utilization is 4%. So that's not bad, especially since I had reported on this credit card 49%. Yeah, so that was 49%. But what I'll do is one, because y'all, if you are on the channel for a long time, y'all know I love to use my credit cards for all of my expenses that I can. So it's only maybe like 3 things that I'm not using my credit card for. And then so when I had called United, that's what the lady was telling me. She was just like, I use my credit cards for everything, so that I can use the points for whatever she's wanting. Use the miles for travel and stuff like that. And so I'm just like, yeah, I like to use my credit card for all of my all of my expenses. And so what I do is, I don't pay interest on the credit cards. and I will pay the statement balance. So while this card has I done pretty much almost maxed this one out, I won't let it report that high. And so I'm glad that it didn't report that, and then I'll pay it down. And so that's what I kind of like about really understanding your credit card utilization too, because it's like you can, when I had did, from when was that, November, October or November, I had did that video, how long can you float a balance on a credit card? And so here I'll just make sure to pay the statement balance. And if I pay the statement balance, then I won't be paying any interest on the credit card. Let me see. So Juan said 823 is fantastic. The highest I've had is 812. I want to be in the 840 range or 840 plus. But Juan, you have to let me know, because the thing is, that's my Vantage score. So the 823 is my Vantage score for 3 Experian, and then the 771 is my FICO score. So do so A said I can say that my score is 823, but you'll have to let me know. Can I start saying that my credit score is over 800? And so that's what I want to do. I want to be able to say my credit score is over 800, because that's what my goal for 2026. My goal for 2026 is to get my credit score to 800. And then once I get to 800, then can I get it, to over even 850? Can I get it to 850? So he said, so when you finally hit 800, does the urge to apply for something instantly increase? Nah, look, Ace, look, it really don't matter where my credit score is. If I want to apply for a credit card, I'm gonna be applying for a credit card. So but it's just like, on the one hand, I think that even if, because it's just like, when I think about my credit, I was telling somebody today, when I think of my credit, because like, let's say when I bought my car in 2021, I thought my credit score was a 700 at that time, and my credit score was a 681. And when I got my auto loan through Navy Federal, and I still was able to get the lowest interest rate. And so for me, when I take a look at my credit score, it's gonna be, okay, am I able to apply for any credit card that I want? Am I able to get high credit limits or just get approved? Because it really depends on what is your strategy. Is my strategy just to get approved? If your strategy just to get approved, then really anything over a 700, you can get most, even like American Express and all that kind of stuff. But really, you want to be like a 720 or higher, because if you can get at a 720, then it's pretty much like, I don't think it's any credit card that you can get. Now, the only thing is that you really have to take a look at your credit profile and what's on your credit profile, your payment history, your credit card utilization, your length of credit, your new credit, and your credit mix. What on your credit profile is, needing work. And so that's how I take a look at it. I check the Experian. Yes, call it over 800. Thanks, you guys. Yeah, so I can say I have over 800 credit score. But I'm telling you, because look, with that Vantage score, y'all, I don't know if I want to get too excited, because that Vantage score, it will go up and down so fast, because it was just an 801. It was just an 801 yesterday, and then today is an 823. And then so tomorrow it could probably be back down to 800, because especially once that 49% drops, and then because once that 49% credit card utilization on that one credit card drops, and then now my overall credit card utilization is, but I'll have to see what it was before, because I don't know if it was a 2% or a 3% credit card utilization, and now it's a 4% credit card utilization. So we'll have to see. But I am excited about it, because I'm still happy that my credit score is over a 750, but it's just like my FICO score. But I really, really, really want to get it my FICO score to 800. Like that's what I want. I want my FICO score to get there. Yep. But yeah. So let me see. So DBHLLC said, "Hello, Queen. Hey, how you doing? I've been laying low, but now after not having a car note, I have to get one because my truck just died. Oh man, and it's way too much to fix. Dang, man, don't you hate when that happened?" And I'm just like, ooh, oh my goodness. Man, I hate that for you because especially not having a car note for a long time. Because man, I'm gonna tell y'all. So I haven't had a car note for, I guess it's gonna be, is it 5 years? Because I paid that one off in 2021. So it might be 5 years that I'm not having a car note. But the last time, y'all, I think it was like maybe, I don't know if it was like 10 years or more that I didn't have a car note. And I was just like, y'all, I had a Sunfire, a Pontiac Sunfire. Y'all, I had that car probably 14 or 15 years, and I didn't even have, I don't even think I had 100,000 miles on it. I might have had like 86,000 miles on it. And my dad, he was just like, Tasha, like, dang, you need to get you another car opposed to driving it. But it wasn't, it was a pretty good car. And so I'm just like, to be okay. So it's going on 4 years now. Like, man, that's not enough time. I'm just like, with this car that I have now, I'm just like, can I go 10 years without having a car payment? I'm just like, I'm trying to get to 100,000 miles on a car. And so I haven't ever got to 100,000 miles on a car. And so I've had 3 cars. So I had a Sunfire, and I had that car, I want to say 14 or 15 years, and I had like 86,000 miles. And then after that, I had got me, I want to say, what car was that? It was a hatch. I can't remember what car that was. Oh man, Ace, you trying to be talking about my car, Pontiac Sunfire? I haven't heard of one of those since the '90s. That is so funny. Ace, don't be trying me now. Don't be trying me. That ain't right. It ain't been since no '90s, man. Because look, this is the thing. How long? When did I have that one? Man, I'm telling you, I kept that Sunfire probably until like 2013 or something like that. I don't know. And so I had got a Mazda. I got the Mazda hatch. It was a Mazda 3 hatch. And I want to say I had got that one in 2020. I don't know if I might have got that one in 2013 or maybe 2015. I can't remember 100%. It has to be in 2015. Ace trying to Ace, man, you ain't right, Ace. That's cold blooded right there. But that's hilarious. But you know what, Ace? I need to go. Let me find out right quick. Let me find out and see when was the last Sunfire. But look, let me tell you, Ace, though, because what happened with that Sunfire, man, I was so sad. Because what happened was, y'all, I had came home, but I'm just so glad that I had made it home. And then when I tried to put the car in park, it would not go in park. And so the gear rod had broke. And so I wasn't able to put it in gear. So I had to back it up and let it go over to the next area and then just sit it there. And so I was going to get it fixed, but my pops was like, man, you need to get you another car. You do not even need to be trying to pay for that car, and you just need to get you another car. Man, so I ended up donating that car to the Kidney Foundation. Y'all, why I see that car driving down the street? And you know, the first thing I said, I was like, look, I got a car payment. And they don't have no car payment. And I was just like, dang. Because I saw the car and I was just like, well, they had took my stickers off of the car. They took the stickers off of the car because I had some stickers on the car. And but I had got into a car accident with that car and I had got it fixed, but they didn't get the dent all the way out. So it still kind of had like a little dent. So I knew it was my car. And so when I saw that car driving down the street, I was like, dang, I think that's my car. And so I was speeding up so I can get close to it. And I was like, that's my car. And I was like, man, I got a car note and they don't have no car note. And I was like, man, I could have got that car fixed. Let me see. Did Pontiac. But I'm telling you, that car, I'm telling you, that person probably still got that car. And that car is because I can't remember. I think it was a 2002. I think it was a 2002 car. Let me see. Imagine having a car repoed and three. Let's go. Let's go, man. Let me see. When did Pontiac Sunfire? Let me see. When did they stop making Pontiac Sunfires? They said in 2005. In 2005, that was the last year that they made the Pontiac Sunfire. But I'm telling you, man, that car did not give me no trouble. But I got that car new. So I done had 2 new cars and 1 used car. So I had got that car brand new. And I had that car 14, almost 15 years. And that car did not give me no trouble. Now I had to get brakes and hubcaps. Because I'm just like, y'all, I was, I can't parallel park. And then you know how when you be going through the drive-through, I'm just like, I don't know if I just be so hungry sometimes. I be scraping the hubcaps. And so I was getting hubcaps all the time. I'm just like, who replaces their hubcaps? And so I was replacing my hubcaps all the time. So that's all the work that I would have to get done to the car. But I'm just like, that car treated me so well. And so I was just like, wow. And so I was just like, I hated that I wasn't able to put 100,000 miles on that car. And so I haven't been able to put 100,000 miles on a car ever. And so I'm just like, I want to put 100,000 miles on a car. And so DBH LLC said my truck had 298,000 miles on it. I just dropped 2,000 on tires, brakes, and rotors. Oh my goodness gracious. Dang, DB. I hate that. Man, that's cold. Ooh, man. That just make you so mad. I'm sorry to hear about that. But you did that car has a lot of miles on it, so that's pretty good. I'm like, man, I want to be able to put that many miles on a car. So, but yeah, what time is it, y'all? 10 o'clock. So I probably need to be getting ready for the bed so I can get up early. Because I gotta be at work by 7. What time do y'all have to be at work? So yes, but yeah, y'all have to take a look at so overall, just talking about credit card utilization and all that kind of stuff. But I'm telling you, taking a look at your credit card utilization, that's going to be the quickest way for you to increase your credit score. And the statement date is the most important date, in my opinion, because that's when the creditor is going to be reporting to the credit bureau. And at that point, you want to make sure. So shout out to Juan, because he said that he pays his card down a few days before it closes so that he's reporting it. So I think that's like the most important piece, is just like, you have to know how much you want to report. what's your ideal credit card utilization? I think that's the most important thing, because I like to report a low, like a overall. I like to my overall credit card utilization to be low. And I mean, I still want my individual credit cards, but on the same hand, it's not gonna hurt my credit score bad, because like on that credit card, I reported 49%, but it's not gonna really impact me. So you really have to know your credit and your credit profile so that you can know what you can do. Um, Let me see. Hey John, what's up? How are you doing? Happy New Year to you. Thank you so much for joining. Um, and so Ace said 7%. So I think he said 7% credit card utilization for him too. John, I hope that you'll be able to catch the replay. Thank you so much for joining. Let me see. What did DB say? DB said, I'm gonna send you a picture of it. It's a 2015 and it still looks new. Man, that is so good. Yes, you'll have to email it to me. But that is because I think that if you take care of your stuff, that you can keep it for a long time. And so I think even if it's a 2015, and so he's saying that he took care of it and looked brand new. So it's just like, even if it does have 298,000 miles on it, I'm just like, man, to be able to say that you had a car with over almost, you know what, DB, I would be kind of mad that I didn't get to 300,000 miles. That's what I would have been saying. I was like, dang, could I at least get 300,000 miles on it? Because I'm like, I'm trying to get to 100,000 miles on a car. I am doing fabulous. Thank you so much for asking. I just wanted to come on here and just chit chats with you guys and let you know what I had found out about the credit card utilization, and how that time period when your statement is processing. And I can't confirm it 100%. So I'll have to take a look at it a couple of times, because this is the first time that I was actually, since this statement was coming out, that I was really taking a look at it. So I'll have to take a look at it on some other credit cards just to see. But it didn't report, even though I was still using the credit card. It's like it cut the credit card off at a certain point and got my statement balance. And even though I was still using the card, it didn't report all that I had, the whole credit card utilization. But I'm just like, but I'm telling you, I haven't maxed out a credit card in a long time. Because I'm just like, I try to make sure that I'm using, my credit appropriately. But even though I maxed out the credit card, because right now I only got $400 available credit on that credit card, I'll pay it down. So at my due date, and probably before the due date, because I had went ahead and made a payment, I want to say Monday. I had went ahead and made a payment on Monday. And then, but Tuesday, I think that's when I had got the plane tickets. And once I got the plane tickets, and boom, it knocked it to max. And so, I'll go ahead and pay it off, because one, I'm not going to pay interest on a credit card. And then two, I'm gonna, especially at the statement date, I'm gonna pay down the statement balance so that I'm not paying interest on a credit card. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yep. But I hope that y'all's new year is going good. Go over to the community tab, check out some of those polls that I have on the community tab. They're really good, because y'all, the polls that I've had right now, it seems like most people want to make more money and pay off debt. And so I think that some of the content that I'm going to be making going forward is going to be, I know for sure about paying down debt, the strategy of paying down debt. And I think that that is very important. And so John said that is true, as long as you make the statement before, that is true, as long as you make that statement before it reports, you're good. And I think that that's 100% true. You got to pay it down by that statement balance. And so sometimes the statement of, say, closing date, statement date, it kind of interchanges it a little bit. But as long as you pay it down before that and pay down the statement balance, then it's good. It's all good. And then you don't have to pay interest on credit cards. And so that's really how I do it. But yeah, so I'm gonna be so go over there and check out the community tab and take some of those polls. I really like those polls. And then we'll chit chat later. So I hope that y'all have a good rest of the night and that y'all have a great weekend. And I thank you so much for joining the chat, because I want to give a shout out to John. I want to give a shout out to Ace, even though he tried to play me talking about the Pontiac was in the 90s. I'm going to let you slide on that one. Shout out to DB. DB, oh man, I hate that. What happened to your truck? Shout out to Juan. I appreciate you for joining. So I just really appreciate y'all for joining. But yes, have a great night. Thank you. But we will chat soon. Thank you so much. Until next time, have a good one.